floor is instituted, you take the quantity demanded and quantity supplied, and you can plug in that new price to those equations to get the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied at that price. And then the surplus is going to be the difference between the two. So we've got quantity supplied of 12.625 and quantity demanded of 10. So the surplus is going to be 2.625, which is 12.625 minus 10. I can move on here to question 6. Question 6 reads, what does this quote mean, by John Rawls? First principle, each person is to have an equal right to the most extensive total system of equal basic liberties compatible with a similar system of liberty for all. Second principle, social and economic equalities are to be arranged so that they are both A, to the greatest benefit of the least advantage, consistent with the just savings principle, and B, attached to offices and positions open to all under conditions of fair equality of opportunity. What our junior tutor has written is that the first principle is that each person is to have an equal right to the most extensive total system of equal basic liberties, compatible with a similar system of liberty for all. Their explanation is that in the first principle, which comes first among the rules, the important point is that in the field of fundamental freedoms, no one can be more equal than another. Unfair treatment or injustice of different persons may destroy society. In one word, equality. It is important for any developed society to view their citizens as equals when it comes to issues like voting and working and things of that nature. The second principle, social and economic inequalities are to be arranged that they are both A, to the greatest benefit of the least advantage, consistent with the just savings principle, and B, attached to offices and positions open to all under conditions of fair equality of opportunity. Explanation is that the second principle states the difference principle. Rawls was not favored by standardized equality. According to him, the yardstick for permissible inequality was that it give the most disadvantaged a maximum of advantages. There exists a choice among the measures of equality, and only that satisfies Rawls, which yields the highest measure of benefits to the worst off. So if I remember correctly from grad school, Rawls is sort of famous for his idea of Rawlsy inequality. And I think it stems from the idea that if you were to just be dropped into society, having no idea of what your class would be, what sort of setup would you prefer? Would you prefer it, say how it is loosely in the United States right now, where there is a small chance you may end up incredibly well off, have the world at your fingertips, or a larger chance that like you may have nothing or very little, or have less than most of society? Or would you rather be dropped into a society where equality was as close as possible, and maybe the benefits wouldn't be as high if you were a top member of society, but the bottom tier of society would not be nearly as bad, and you would be better off? And he says, not knowing where you would end up, you would prefer a system in which, I believe they said it here the best, a system in which the most disadvantaged had the maximum number of advantages. And what that looks like is essentially, instead of having, you may be dropped into a system where you could be very well off or very poor off. The system instead looks like this, where the worst off here are not much worse off than the best off. I don't really have anything to write or draw for that one. Just kind of what I stumbled through out loud there. Question 7, I believe, is our last question.